It was?
Yeah, so as I was explaining, for some reason my laptop is not syncing audio. And I have to sync this video with
The audio.
the really super great audio, deep, bassy, resonant. So to sync those up, you just gotta go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bleep. You're late.
Shit. Should we do it again?
No.
Okay. Hey, Rob.
Andrew, how you doing?
Oh my gosh. Welcome to another beautiful day.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
It's perfect weather time.
It is. The weather broke this weekend, I guess. It literally broke. I wasn't here for it. There was a fantastical storm, right? It sort of KO'd some events in the valley.
Oof. Yeah, that was rough. I was up in northern Arizona camping this weekend, and we got pretty destroyed with rain for a good straight 12 hours, which is so unusual here.
Right. We've got a busy week. We are preparing for the Arizona Craft Beer Awards night, the Friday thing, the industry thing, in which are a handful of invites for the general public. We are filling in categories nicely. We have the program going. We have some special awards. Of course, we have Best of Show. We have Brewery of the Year. We have all the categories, 14 of them to award. So it'll be an interesting, fun night. And we have many of the beers that were judged available for that event. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. We're going to have, just almost all the breweries that entered beers are going to be there. So it's just going to be a whole bunch of industry people hanging out, having fun. Probably people I haven't seen in a long time outside of like 2-minute high fives or something. So that's going to be nice. Yeah.
And it's going to be at the Arizona Heritage Center, which is in Tempe, adjacent to Papago Park, off of College Street, north of, what is that, Curry? Yeah.
Correct,
like that. Easily findable. Tickets are Eventbrite. You might be able to organically find them, but if you are, they will be emailed to you, to your inbox, if you have recently purchased a guild ticket to an event, so such as Strong Beer or Real Wild and Woody. You're on that list. We'll also put it on whatever platform you're hearing or seeing this on, YouTube or Spotify or whatever. It should be in the description of the event. So if you're driving in your car, you're going to have to probably take some time and figure that out, or just open that email and you'll get the information.
There is something to consider, is that there are less than 300 seats in that theater.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a bunch of people, and we're not talking about a bunch of tickets available.
Yeah.
So if you want to go, you better get on it.
Yeah, and if you're a super fan of some of these breweries, it's going to be fun when they're getting their awards and you're standing up and, giving them high fives and stuff like that. It should be fun. So we're planning that. We're working on some other details. We're trying to get some more surprise guests in. We do have some dignitaries or two, and it'll be super, super fun. So we got that going on. We have an industry liquor meeting with our stakeholders to decide what's going on in the upcoming session.
You just finished the fun stuff and transitioned right into the blah stuff. So you didn't even make a transition.
I'm excited about that too, by the way.
It's exciting, but it's...
Yeah, okay,
you're right. There's going to be a lot of contention in those meetings this year.
Possibly, yeah. We're not going to get into it. Hey, everybody, there's some secret stuff going on, and we'll let you know. There are some issues that we hope to iron out before it even gets to any kind of legislative issue, I suppose. That's always the hope. That's why I'm hopeful, and it's why it's good to have allies in the room occasionally, and we certainly do. There's people who believe as we do. I guess in larger terms, we can talk about, although I don't know that there'll be a legislative solution, but we're getting soft drink makers with their distributors getting into the alcohol space, and there's some concern about traffic management and attention in the chain grocery stores. So that's something that isn't something you legislate out of. It's something that you just keep monitoring for trade practice and potentially have some sort of solution. Usually it comes from within. We'll see.
So
Hopeful.
the slotting fees is what is the big challenge when you have a soft drink maker that's involved in the alcohol space, because slotting fees are legal, i.e. Pepsi or whoever pays the grocery store to put their product on the shelf.
Yep.
In alcohol, that is strictly illegal in the whole country.
Exactly.
And so there's a couple things. If Pepsi is paying slotting fees for Pepsi and they want to put their alcoholic beverage on that same shelf, is that a slotting fee? Is it appropriate to have it over there?
Yeah.
Or should it have to be over with the other alcohol products?
Will more resources put towards their soft drink side equal more placement on the alcohol side?
Right. And then the other big whammy on that situation is...
Yeah, potentially Kroger, which is fries for everybody, and who would have already subsumed Smith's, Smitty's, a couple other things.
Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer, yeah. I like saying Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
Are merging with Albertsons, which is also part of Safeway already. So who does that leave for groceries? The Bashas' chain, which is owned by California, which
Rayleigh.
Winco. There's now a Winco near me.
Oh, there's a great Winco right by my house. But let me tell you about the alcohol space at Winco.
Yeah.
No.
Aldi?
I can't go there and get any craft beer.
Aldi?
5 brands.
Aldi's new to the valley, but not near me. And also, I think they do a lot of those in-house brands too, like Trader Joe's does.
I don't know. Not in the alcohol space, though.
Yeah. Okay.
There's Sprouts.
Sprouts, yeah. Lots of warm shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Some cold shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Whole Foods, who made a really big commitment here in Tempe on a store, and then that was the pandemic, and it got reduced back quite a bit.
Ooh.
Cut it back. Yeah.
Where was that?
In Tempe, downtown Tempe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have been there.
I think that's happening a lot of places. We'll cut back on that. So it's concerning. Legislative solution? Probably not. This might be related to what the Biden administration is looking at in terms of 3-tier and creating equity. That's somewhat where our group might part ways with our distributor friends and certainly our retailers. But right now, it's looking like the retailers are going to have the upper hand on all this as things go.
However, you want to throw in the twist of the DLLC having doubled their budget and then doubling it again next year, so that they're going from 10 to 30 investigators. That is going to make a huge impact on trade practice.
Trade practice is all the what you can and can't do when you're selling products to retailers, and what they can ask for and what they can't ask for, what things are can be offered at retail cost, or it's when you regulate something, there's just a million ways for the toothpaste to come out when you squeeze it, and it's always difficult to sort of anticipate how this is all going to shake out. But when you have people throwing around a lot of money, it is concerning.
And it's absolutely 100% sure if this goes through, they'll have to divest some of those grocery stores, and there will be grocery stores closing.
It's possibly, yeah.
And we already have enough problems in this valley with food deserts. I mean, now take some of the less profitable stores and say, oh, we're just going to get rid of those to be compliant with what regulators want, and you're just going to make it worse. So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean,
let's bring back the bodegas. Well, I guess we never had bodegas here, but
free market. Sometimes it can be complicated, huh?
Yeah, especially in a city that is is decidedly gives advantage to bigger box things, right? There isn't a small grocery store space available, really.
Walmart does 20% of the total grocery store volume by itself already.
Crazy.
Wild.
I knew I'd draw you into the dark side here. Like here we are talking about stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I did tons of reading on it. I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So that's going to be somewhat fast moving. So we'll keep you abreast of what we know. But it's concerning, and maybe it'll all work out.
Well, it's not good for craft.
No, that's pretty much agreed on. But there's going to be winners and losers, and hopefully we'll have some Arizona winners and not as many losers.
We are fortunate to have pretty aggressive distributors who are very friendly to craft in many ways that other states do not have that going on with their distributors. So
people ask what they can do sometimes, and I said, well, there's not a lot, but here's something you can do, and it takes discipline and practice, and you get a few people, especially in your neighborhood. They always ask you, did you find everything you needed at the register?
And you automatically go, yeah.
You do.
I just want to go.
But you should say, I wish there was more Arizona craft. And if you say it all the time, it's going to get kicked up.
You can always scan that little barcode on your receipt and say, give us your feedback. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
They listen to it. It's true.
It is true. And it helps when our local brands do their pitch. So, and that's what's going on right now. People are coming up with their annual business plans with their distributors. So they are super, super top of everything else that's going on in the background. And it's not, you don't see that on anyone's face. It's not a festival face. It's
yeah.
I'm having to present to my distributor, and it sucks right now because we're trying to stand out differently. We're trying to push our brands. We're trying to make sure that they're what the market says, what the buyers say they want. So yeah, it's
every year suppliers have to go to their distributor and talk about what's coming up the next year and how each side is going to help promote that brand and increase sales. If you've done that like 10, 12, 15 times with the same wholesaler, it's the same people sitting in the same room every time. Whew, that's got to be like...
It's like the worst version of America's Got Talent ever.
Groundhog Day. Oh, here we are again.
Yeah.
Watch that first step. It's a doozy.
And they make everyone do it. Mm-hmm. It's like
it's not you've got to have these discussions. And
no, I'm just saying there's no gimmies, right? It's like you can't just go to an audition and say, well, I'm Robert De Niro. Like, you're either giving me a part or not. Like, everybody has to do these pitches.
Yeah.
So now, they may be more detail-y or more whatever, but yeah, it's
you can't really phone it in.
I love this. So we went from talking about our industry awards and more industry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what our podcast is about?
I think, yeah. It's
okay.
It's not beer reviews.
So all this is going on this week, and in the fall, this is what's going on when this is our season. And again, we mentioned pour one out. We're not drinking, but pour one out for all the festivals that had some hard times and all the tent frames that are
crashed
in the dumpster right now. Yeah. So, and I don't think sandbags or stakes were going to help this time around. I heard it was pretty bad.
That's what I understand.
There's also an industry alcohol conference going on right now. I had dinner with Mark Serini from the Brewers Association and talked to Chris Shepard from Beer Insights, Craft Beer Insights.
Where's this?
They're out of, where's the conference?
Yeah.
It's at the Renaissance.
In town here?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got an invite, but we had too much going on. And it's a little spendy.
Yeah, I would think.
So
if you didn't go, I'm sure it's a little spendy.
Camila's there.
Oh, great.
Camila is our lobbyist and general counsel, Camila, who, if you're in the industry and you're looking for an agent, or this is not a paid endorsement, but if you're looking to someone to manage your affairs, she's top notch. She used to be the state's attorney for the liquor department. So there you go. So she's there. So I know we got our bases covered.
Mm-hmm. I bet that's going to be a fiery one this year.
I don't know. We're I might be able to catch up with her after our liquor meeting this afternoon with our stakeholders. Let's take a real quick break.
All right, take a break.
Because I want to get a beer.
All right, great.
All right.
Oh,
Hey, we're back.
nice. I thought of a tagline.
Okay.
I can't. Oh,
You want to wait till the end, or you want to
everyone's friends when you're sharing a pint.
Well, that's great. Are we? Okay.
I just came up with that. I woke up this morning and I was like, we're going to do a pod today. We got to get that tagline down. And I had like an hour to just lay there and think like, what am I going to do? Who wakes up at 3
Do you want us to field test that, or are you just going to roll with it? You roll with it. We'll see what happens. If I pick up on
I don't really like it. I don't even think it came out right. I think I had a better one this morning, but whatever.
All right. You had like a lucid dream or something where this came to you?
Yeah, well, yeah. Sleep. It's a week before an event. I don't sleep. I wake up at 3 and I'm awake. You know what I mean?
What are you drinking there, Andrew?
Oh, I've got Barrio Brewing Company Hipsterville Hazy IPA.
And I have a Santan Oktoberfest. I cannot let Oktoberfest go. Do you understand that in prior years I would go to 5 to 20 Oktoberfests? Like that one year I went to like 14 in a day. I have gone to one and it was ours. That's it.
I've gone to one and it was ours. Yeah, I haven't really gone to any either. Boy,
It's not because I don't want to. I mean, I obviously want to.
so busy.
So that's why I'm drinking this. I cannot let Oktoberfest.
I feel so
go.
bad for Gilbert Oktoberfest. I don't even know how it rolled out. I don't even know if they had the event.
I don't know.
They got crushed with that, like some almost tornado. There was a tornado that day in Gilbert Chandler. I don't think that's what hit them, but it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heartbreaker. Anyways, like, let's not dwell on that.
Okay. You're right.
What are you drinking, Rob?
I already said Oktoberfest from Santan Brewing Company in Chandler.
There you go.
I went to Maine with my wife. Coming off the heels of JBF, I owed my wife a vacation. I owed myself a vacation. I owed you a vacation from me. Probably not how you envisioned your vacation from me, but
There were 3 days we didn't even talk. That's
I know.
pretty crazy.
I know. I still did some work.
I didn't do any work when I was in camping.
Camping? No.
Well, I didn't Saturday, so I got home Sunday and I worked that night. And of course, I worked Friday day. But
Okay, so
Whatever. Hey.
let me just whip through this.
tell me about Maine, Rob. Tell me about your trip.
I left on a red eye, Philadelphia. I like red eyes. I love red eyes. So that enabled us to take an earlier flight from Philadelphia, landed in Portland, Maine, rented a car, went to Bissell Brothers Brewing Company. Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend time at the Cryptozoology Museum next door. I mean, I think that sounds like something I would do, but we just didn't want to spend any time.
What is that?
Cryptozoology. That would be like your Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, dang.
I know. So if you're going, I recommend
Yeah, that
check it
sounds
out
fun.
and tell me about it. Beers were good. Brenda didn't prefer their flagship. I think it had a little more earthy hop quality to it that she wasn't really fond of. I found the 1-800-273-TALK sticker in the men's bathroom. So I put a guild sticker next to it. Texted Josh Goodstein. I'm like, Josh, is this you? He's like, yes. I know exactly where that is. He has family in Maine and has spent some time up there. And then he immediately asked me to bring him some beer. And I just was like, new phone, who dis? So there are some cans that I brought back for him. I have some beer for you. We'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, I got him. It was like a tragedy at the trestle or something like that. I have no idea. I didn't have it there. I had a smash burger there. It was very good. But we were on the road, man. It's like a couple hours to. We went to Acacia National Park.
Oh,
Which is in Bar Harbor. Bahaba.
I thought you were going to say you saw acacia. And I was like, oh, cool. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, it's not acacia. Acadia. Holy cow.
Acadia National Park. Great.
And
in Bahaba.
Well, I'm secretly trying to remember not to put the R in an Acadia. It's not Arcadia. It's Acadia.
Got it.
I didn't want to stick out as somebody who didn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Good job. I'm sure you didn't stick out at all. You looked like a sea captain, so I guess you didn't stick out.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to put that in the video.
I know. So here, I had never been to Portland, Maine. I had been to Portland, Oregon many times, and let me tell you, it was an effort to like not think I was on the West Coast. And I talked to Brenda about this, and she's like, I agree, because there are similarities between the cities. Obviously, port cities and Maine is older, and the terrain is similar, not the same. I mean, hilly and all that stuff. But fine breweries, great restaurants. But you're walking around like, why is there all this Irish stuff here in Portland? Shouldn't there be like, more Asian inspired stuff? I'm like, oh, because I'm on the wrong Portland. I'm on the Irish side.
Right.
Irish are everywhere, by the way, but
East Coast.
yeah. That's different.
Sure.
Ate a lot of lobster.
That's nice.
I had lobster ice cream.
Why do you keep using your R's? Lobster.
Lobster. I had lobster ice cream.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm up for all the freaky food.
It's just vanilla ice cream with like frozen bits of lobster. And you got if you just power through it, you don't even like taste the lobster.
What about butter? They put butter in it, or?
I mean, it's buttery in terms of like vanilla is buttery and it's cream already, so
okay.
It's not really salty or anything.
I think they could have done better for you.
Well, I mean, it was a tourist thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
I wouldn't have ordered it, but I mean, it just sounds dumb to me. Like, because I would imagine it's just going to be frozen lobster unless you let it sit in your mouth and like melt.
Yeah,
and that sounds gross. I don't want to do that.
I look. I ate it all.
Mm-hmm.
Smile on my face, but
job.
it's a little bit like when you nuke. If you nuked lobster mac and cheese and like you didn't nuke it all the way, and you're like chewing and like, hey, this is still frozen. So that sensation, not necessarily the flavor, but like that soft crunchiness.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right. Great. What else did you do? That was one day. You're there like 4.
Yeah. No, I mean the park is beautiful. It's an older park. I don't know. Natural beauty. Fall leaves. Incredible fall leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hit peak.
There were oceans and beaches and all kinds of things you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw my photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighthouses. Yeah, we took pictures of lighthouses, boats.
I love that.
Kites.
I mean, I don't ever want to do that, but I love that for you.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Is that a big pumpkin area or just the right time?
Just the right time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. We narrowly avoided a head-on collision accident. It happened like literally 4 cars in front of us, and we detoured. I'm like, let's just hang out in, I think it's called Damariscotta, Maine, and they had pumpkins. So we hung out there.
Awesome.
Had a muffin, maybe some coffee.
Great. Was the pumpkin infused in the muffin at all, or the coffee, or no?
They're like a big blueberry state. Blueberries,
that's true. Yeah,
everything.
Where's cranberries? Who's that?
I thought that was there
Massachusetts,
too.
or
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I was like, I think they have bogs. I think you need a bog
for cranberries.
So it's blueberries, and like so, we didn't have time to go to Sea Dog because they had a brew pub there in one of the towns that we were in, or Shipyard. I don't think aren't those like Boston breweries that are moved up there? I don't know.
I can't answer that.
Yeah, we need more clear. We finally hooked up with Sean Sullivan, the director of the Brewers Guild up there. He actually turned me on to a bunch of places.
Cool.
He wasn't feeling well, so he didn't come out for the whole time. But glad we made the connection. Got a photo. We met at this Belgian-inspired bar that also had Trillium right? So I'm like, oh, cool, we'll try this. And they had Pliny the Elder. Oh, cool, we'll try this.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
not treated very well. I think they weren't moving very fast, which is crazy when you think about it.
Well, when people go to Maine, they probably want Maine beer, not necessarily California beer.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
This is at the end of the travel season too.
Think about when you're drinking around here, like we're defaulting to Arizona beer every single time.
Yeah, no. I just don't think it turns over.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not very bright in terms of like they had lost some carbonation. No aroma on the Pliny at all. But it was a nice place, and they also had other Belgian beers which were great. I had Terrace Bulba from Brewery de la Seine, Belgian.
One thing I really wish we had more of here.
Well, yeah, that's just it. They have to play the game. They have to order. So there were some more. I guess what some people call more pedestrian European offerings there. Vorsteiner, stuff like that. Like that's what makes that whole engine go. They had Schlinkerla. They had Schlinkerla and Brollas. I was lusting after those. Like, who has who is that?
Right.
So I get it. And they had some Maine beers there, and I don't know. It didn't matter though, because we're talking to Sean and relating our experience, and when there's a director here, you're like, I wonder if they like our state. I wonder if they appreciate it the way we do. And I'm like, don't worry, man. Love your state.
What was Brenda doing the whole time?
Oh, she was into this too, because we were talking about places to have coffee and donuts.
Good.
One of their things, and I didn't take a photo of it, but they use potato flour in some of their donuts. Big line at that place.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I remember having a couple of those in Wisconsin. It wasn't a big deal, but I mean, can you tell? It does take the sweetness down a little bit level, so they're not super, super sweet donuts, if that matters to you.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I bake bread, I'll put some potato flour in it just because.
Yeah.
You have to adjust your recipe, though. It absorbs a lot of water.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just, I'm trying to put the beer value in there, but we didn't really go to a lot of places. We did go to Allagash.
Remember, you're on vacation, Rob. You're not required to have beer value in things. I mean, for the pod, sure. But
yeah, no, I'm not.
You can do your own life too,
I know.
Sometimes not have to do beer. It's all right.
So Allagash.
Oh yeah, fun.
Yeah. So
I'm so jealous. That I do want to see.
During the pandemic, they pushed everyone out of the tap room and used it for production. So they're fully outdoors, and it's in this industrial park. And like I'm not sure if Sean was trying to undersell it. He's like, yeah, it's in an industrial park, not very scenic. I'm like, it is the leafiest like industrial park I've ever seen. Like we sat amongst trees.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, if I lived here, I'd probably just bring a hammock here because they had big trees.
This is where I live now.
Yeah, we went and tried a bunch of things. They had a lot of their cool ship stuff on, and just so mouth-quenchingly refreshing.
So awesome getting to go to the breweries and go to the tap rooms and get the things that they don't put out there.
Yeah, they had
because every brewery has that. They're so big and well known, but then you go to the tap room, and it's like, oh, there's this little thing that's here's
the crazy. There's two pieces of information that Sean gave me. One is they moved there because D.L. Geary was one of the first breweries in the country, and they were there, and they wanted to be near there. So now there's like 5 breweries within walking distance. Like you could throw rocks at each other. That's how close they are. But they're there, and get this, like not too long before the pandemic, they would just give away beer. They didn't charge you for beer when you visited the brewery. They had more of a tour experience, but it was free.
What?
Yeah.
Sounds
I can't. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Make raving fans, I guess.
I don't know if they were pouring. They had a pumpkin cool ship beer called Ghoul Ship.
Ghoul Ship.
And I got a hot tip from somebody on Twitter, brewer from Florida, said that they were getting somehow this beer called Haunted House Dark Ale, not customarily what they do, and it was really good. But it was so far down. It would have been so far down the list. I would have never got to it. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I tried it. Mm-hmm. But this just goes back to our statement about if a certain brewery came to Arizona, what would that look like? would that be what they lead with?
Yep.
I mean, because
I have so at Real Wild and Woody, we did have some breweries that sent beer out just for that event. So I can imagine if they were to open a location here, they would be bringing some of that stuff that is like taproom only, kind of unique, not general market stuff.
No, I mean if they got with a distributor, obviously there would be bottles of stuff here and there, but like in terms of like if they made a grocery store play, it would be obviously Allagash White. By the way, fresh everywhere, every place I went.
Oh, it's like the number 2 beer in Maine or something.
I don't know, man.
They sell a lot of it.
It was number 1 for me, so I didn't have it at the brewery because I'm like, I already had this. It's as good as I'm going to remember it. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, like, there's something that there's a creaminess to it that's what you don't get in a lot of other people's wits. It's a mouthfeel thing because a lot of times I'll have a flavorful one, and I'm going to have to go. Probably have pedal houses real soon just so I can, I mean, maybe they are doing it. Maybe just something I noticed because I had 4 or 5 of them, you know what I mean, in rapid succession.
And now you can check it out.
Yeah. But super wonderful beer to have with seafood. Yeah.
Fun. That sounds great.
So we also did a side venture to Bangor, and we made no puns about the city.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We did not.
Was that like, did you have a little sticker on your car that said no Bangor puns?
And I'm not going to even do one now. My wife is a big Stephen King fan. He lives there. He has a very spooky looking house with a gate. All the houses are, very Victorian looking. And there is places where he was supposedly inspired to write, and there are things from the movie It in that town. That town is where he grew up, and I guess the name of his town in books is Derry, Derry. But if there's any detail, it's generally something that happens in Bangor. So
cool.
We did that, and then that's essentially it.
Okay. So then you drove back to Philly?
We drove to Portland back to Philly back here. And that was pretty, I mean, I had a Yingling in the
airport?
Admiral Club. Yeah.
How exciting for you.
Yeah, it was just something to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have had a Sierra Nevada.
I would have preferred that very much, yeah.
Yeah, just check the box.
All right, yeah. Check the box.
We used to fly through there a lot.
You can check that box in Dallas Fort Worth Airport now, too.
Oh, really? Yingling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like to spend any
time.
In
the future.
I don't like to spend any time in either of those airports.
You do whatever you got to do, man. I'm not telling you what to drink.
We used to fly through Philly a lot on some of our trips. And in the club that we used, there's a picture of like a harbor view of Philadelphia, and I would always take a picture. I'm like, so great to be back in Philly, and like get on another plane.
ASAP.
Yeah. So, I guess the big picture is great state to visit. More than just the beer, obviously. Great scenery. If you can time it.
There's lobster, there's boats and lighthouses.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, there's enough to go back now. We identified some things that we can make a specific week on just out of Portland. And this goes back. I mean, talking to Sean, we got all the hot tips on where to go, and not exclusively beer things, and that's wonderful.
Wait, you're saying that people that work in the beer industry also live? Don't only beer all the time?
Exactly.
It's true.
Well, and they enjoy things commensurate with the kinds of beers they drink.
Mm-hmm.
Or they will guide you through the touristy things that you should do and the touristy things you should not do. And that's important when you're traveling. So
cool.
Lots of places in America look like lots of other places in America. This is true, except for the coast. That's a distinguishing factor. But it's like once you're in that town for a little bit, you like go, oh, this is familiar. And you sort of know like which bars are cash bars and which bars, are going to have food, even though you don't know. Kind of walking in, you know where an ATM is going to be roughly, if it's a jaywalking town or not a jaywalking town.
Did you look it up?
No.
Oh, you just did it?
Yeah. There's a bunch of people getting off of cruise ships and stuff like that. So
did you know that Phoenix is no longer jaywalking?
They're not enforcing it.
Correct.
They got busted for not busting it consistently.
Ooh boy.
But I actually talked to Mark Serini about this. He's like, we're going to make this light. I'm like, hey, it's jaywalking city, but it's also a city that you are likely to be hit by a car more than other cities.
More than jaywalking.
So I said, I think you're a libertarian, at least in some thoughts. I said, so yeah, you pays your money, it takes your chances, and yeah, whatever. So Phoenix is a jaywalking town, but you could die.
Yeah, you can jaywalk.
That's not a tagline.
No. Well, we have an appointment coming up.
Yeah. So, sorry again, I'm talking.
What?
It's all about me talking again.
That's all
2 in a row.
Oh, come on. You get to do all these adventures. It's great. I'm going to do adventures too.
Yeah? What do you got next?
Oh, I have nothing. Well,
maybe the 4 of us can do something fun in November.
We have Thanksgiving. I take that back. So there was a whole thing about my mom very crazily like, oh, are you going to come to our house? And then she came back last week and said, never mind. I'm going to Portland to see your sister. So
Portland, Oregon.
So I don't have Thanksgiving plans.
Yeah.
The first year, both my children are out of the house. Of course, this is heart-wrenching to my wife and glorious for me. And we have a friend in Salt Lake who invited us to come up for Thanksgiving to spend with them, and that would be so fun. So we might do that.
That's great. Do you normally cook? Yeah. I know you cook, but do you normally put on
for Thanksgiving?
Big to-do for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff, yeah.
Do you do...
That's one of the days that actually my wife does most of, or a lot of the cooking. That's when she really likes doing it.
Huh.
Like every other day, she'll put something together. It's fine. She's just not like enthusiastic about it, but she knows what she's doing. But for holidays, she really likes doing it.
Do you do like beer inspired things at all? Or do you just,
Pretty traditional.
Traditional, yeah. I used to beer brine a turkey.
I've done that, yeah.
And now I think I'm only going to do it when I know I have a bunch of old beer. I'm not gonna do it otherwise.
Cardboard turkey?
No, it's not what happens.
Yeah. So, I don't even know what we would do.
Well, go to Salt Lake.
Well, yeah.
And then I'll just pepper you with questions about it. I've been there though. I'd been there and I have opinions on it.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay, we can talk about it then. But like I've been there and I dig it.
Okay.
Have a good time.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it when we talk about it. So you want to roll out a tagline on us?
Hey, Rob. Thanks for hanging out today. And remember, everyone's friends when they're sharing a pint. Almost. Let's keep working.
Let's see if it's memorable. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Rob.
Remember, have a pint with a friend.
That was it. That was the one. Nailed it.
All right. Hope to see you guys at the Craft Beer Awards. Otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. That's not a tagline either.